Good afternoon, boys. It's another time that I want to welcome you to our online lesson. Remember, we are doing a topic known as glaciation. Boys, yesterday we looked at how a sack is formed. We also looked at the formation of a tarn or a cory lake. We went ahead, boys, to look at the formation of arete. Allow me this afternoon to take you through the formation of a pyramidal peak. A pyramidal peak is the topmost part of a glaciated mountain. Dear boys, how is a pyramidal peak formed? For you to know how a pyramidal peak is formed, you must know the formation of a rete. You must know the formation of a sack. So boys, for us to form a pyramidal peak, we will need to form sacks in plural, and we shall begin this way. Step number 1. Ice occupies a pre-existing hollow on the mountain side. And remember, these hollows must be formed in plural. So we say, ice occupies pre-existing hollows on the mountain side. Point number 2. Ice exerts pressure on the rocks beneath. Point number 3. The hollows are deepened by abrasion process. Point number 4. The hollows are enlarged by nivation process. Point number 5. The hollows are enlarged and steepened by plucking process. Eventually, armchair-shaped hollows known as sacks are formed. After forming sack, we need to form aretes, and this is what we add. Sacks cut back to back through headward recession to form knife-edged ridge known as aretes. When two or more aretes meet at the peak of the mountain, they form a jagged peak known as a pyramidal peak. After forming a pyramidal peak, which we have gone through the steps, step number 1, ice occupying pre-existing hollows on mountain sides. Step number 2, ice exerts pressure on rocks beneath. Step number 3, hollows are deepened by abrasion process. Step number 4, hollows are enlarged by nivation process. Step number 5, hollows are enlarged and steepened by plucking process. Armchair-shaped hollows known as sacks are formed. Then we've said that when sacks cut back to back through headward recession, then what will be formed is a knife-edged ridge known as arete. And we are forming pyramidal peak by saying that when two or more aretes meet at the peak of the mountain, then a jagged peak known as a pyramidal peak is formed. The second feature, dear boys, that I want us to discuss this afternoon is the formation of a hanging valley. How is a hanging valley formed? Step number one, dear boys, initially there is a tributary valley and a main valley. There are two valleys. There is a main valley, and then there is a smaller valley joining the main valley, which is referred to as a tributary valley. And that is why we are saying at the initial stage, there are two valleys. One, the main valley, and number two, a tributary valley. Point number two, both the main valley and the tributary valley are occupied by glacier. It is important to note, dear boys, that more glacier occupy the main valley than the tributary valley. Step number four, both the main valley and the tributary valley are eroded by abrasion and plaquing. Step number five, the main valley is eroded more than the tributary valley. The next step, when ice melts, a tributary valley is left suspended over the main valley. And the last step, this suspended tributary valley is known as a hanging valley. Thank you, boys. You need to listen to the two glacial features that are formed in the glaciated upland due to erosional process. Otherwise, I want to wish all of you a good afternoon, and if you have any question, then you can ask through our common WhatsApp group.
yangu